Hi, guys. I cannot believe that we are beginning week 4. This week, we're going to be looking at Chapter 10, Writing, Spelling, and Literacy Development. After you have read Chapter 10, you should be able to explain the theories underpinning early writing development, describe strategies used to help children from birth to pre-K develop writing, also describe strategies that are used for developing writing in kindergarten through 3rd grade. You should be able to discuss the types of writing most appropriate for early childhood and give examples of how to develop each. Demonstrate the important mechanical aspects of writing that children must learn, and to assess student writing. Now, I want to go back for a minute, and when we think about our early writers, think about how children, those early attempts might be scribbling. It might be drawing a picture. It could be using letters and numbers as they don't know the difference yet. Those early attempts might be children using invented spelling. They only may use one letter per word. And gradually, through modeling and our instruction, we get to conventional spelling. Once children are in preschool or kindergarten, one of the best ways to help develop their early writing is through interactive writing, where the teacher and the children are sharing the pen. Also, when children are beginning to write, they need to write about personal things that have happened to them. That is what writers write about. They write about their own experiences. We want to make it easy for those beginning writers. I also want to mention that stressing punctuation and conventional spelling to early writers isn't really something that you want to do. We want to focus on the meaning of their writing, their message, not on the mechanics. The mechanics will come, but we want those children to perceive themselves as writers, as being able to convey that message on the paper. We don't want them to get all hung up on periods and capital letters and commas. Moving on to Chapter 11, Using Children's Literature in the Classroom. At the end of this chapter, you should identify features that you would see in a well-designed literacy center or station. Discuss the types of children's literature that you should have in your classroom. Identify activities that can be done with children's literature. Describe storytelling techniques and encourage independent reading. And think about ways to assess children's attitudes toward books. In the English language arts standards for the state of Ohio, as in the Common Core, there has been a shift from narrative or literature, stories, to informational text. Even young children love to read or be read informational text. They love to look at picture books. They love to look at fairy tales. They love all kinds of genres. We as teachers need to have varied genres in our classrooms. How do we get these varied genres? One way to have a great collection of children's literature is when your local libraries have their book sales every year. I know teachers that have gone there and picked up many, many great books for very little money. Also, through Scholastic is another great resource, using bonus points to add to your classroom library. And I mentioned that after reading chapter 11, you will be able to assess children's attitude towards books, which leads us into chapter 12, which is creating a motivating environment for literacy development, positive mindset, technology, integration, and play all are part of that motivating environment for literacy development. You'll be able to create a literacy-friendly classroom after reading chapter 12. You'll be able to talk about strategies for motivating readers and writers, how to create that positive growth mindset in a classroom. How do we integrate technology into reading and writing activities? How does dramatic play engage children in reading and writing? And how to integrate literacy learning into thematic units and project-based instruction. Using thematic units is one of the easiest ways to teach because you are able to weave everything together through literature. Please be sure to look at the discussion forum rubric before submitting your forums. Also, I would like to thank those of you that are responding to your peers' questions. You guys are doing a fabulous job. Forum 4.1 this week is spelling and punctuation are areas of concern for conventional writing. What are appropriate settings for the use of invented spelling? When is it appropriate for children to use invented spelling? And then you are to explain when you would begin to point out elements of spelling and punctuation, as well as which strategies you would use to encourage conventional forms of spelling and punctuation. Forum 4.2 talks about motivation theory. And it's not at the beginning of chapter 8. That is a typo, I apologize. It's at the beginning of chapter 12. The author describes elements of motivation theory, such as choice, challenge, relevance, authenticity, social collaboration, and success. How will you provide for those elements in your classroom? How will you motivate your students to read? You only have one quiz this week. Again, I hope that you are working on your assignment for week 5, where you choose one of those topics that are listed in the syllabus and create a parent literacy training workshop. And please remember, there are several steps that need to be included with this assignment. You have to share how you will invite the parents and talk about the environment that will encourage their attendance. So if you create an invitation for the parents, please include that. You need to include a description of your topic. Include examples of a handout that you would give them. Also include the evaluation form you would give to the parents for them to evaluate your workshop. Describe an activity you would do with the parents. How would you make accommodations if those parents don't use English as their first language? Or families that are challenged by factors caused by poverty? Please, before you submit week 5, self-assess with the rubric that is here on Moodle for you to use. If you have any questions, please ask me. Thank you.